Hi everyone, in today's video I have an important immigration update to share with you regarding the E2 investor visa. There have been some important changes to the E2 visa program, particularly for people that are getting citizenship to an E2 country for purposes of applying for their E2 visa. We're going to talk all about this in today's video, so make sure to stick around. Hi everyone, my name is Michael Ashoori and I'm a U.S. immigration lawyer based in Los Angeles, California. At my law firm, we regularly post videos to keep you up to date with the latest immigration news and to provide you with helpful immigration tips. So if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So as I mentioned, in today's video, we're going to talk about some important immigration updates to the E2 visa. So recently, President Biden has signed into law an act that has some important implications for the E2 investor visa. Take a look at my screen and we'll go through it. So here is a release on the White House website. And as you can see here, it's dated December 23rd, 2022. Statement by President Biden on HR 7776, the James M. Inhofe National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2023. And it says here, today I have signed into law HR 7776, the James M. Inhofe National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2023. And it goes on to talk about what this act includes in it. And it's important to note that there are some major immigration implications in this act. So without going through this whole thing, I'm going to summarize it. So regarding the E2 visa, there are two important changes that have been made regarding eligibility for e-visas. The first one is that Portugal is now designated as an E2 treaty country. So this means that citizens of Portugal can now apply for an E2 visa. The E2 visa is only available to citizens of certain countries. So one of the new changes and one of the new updates is that Portugal is now designated as a treaty country. So it's now eligible, citizens of Portugal are now eligible to apply for an E2 visa. Now, the second change, which is a very consequential change for many people, is point number 2 here, where it says that individuals who have acquired citizenship through financial investment must have been domiciled in that country for a continuous period of not less than 3 years at any point before applying for an non-immigrant visa. I'm going to go back to my full screen and I'm going to explain what this means. So as you can see, there are two important updates that come to light as a result of this new law. The first one is that Portugal is now an E2 visa country. This is wonderful for citizens of Portugal because now citizens of Portugal are eligible to apply for an E2 visa. The second important development as a result of this law, again, has to do with people that are getting citizenship to another country, such as Grenada, for purposes of getting their E2 visa. Now, let me back up a little bit and explain what's going on. One of the key requirements of the E2 visa is that you must be a citizen of a country that has an E2 treaty with the United States. Now, while there are many countries that have E2 treaties with the United States, such as France, Germany, Canada, there's many countries that have E2 treaties with the United States, but there are certain major countries that do not have an E2 treaty with the US. Such countries include Brazil, Russia, India, China. These are major countries, and many citizens of those countries do want to pursue an E2 visa. So in the past, many of these investors have gotten citizenship to countries that have an E2 treaty with the United States, such as Grenada. Grenada is a country that has an E2 treaty with the US. And Grenada has a special program where people can get citizenship to Grenada based on investing in the country. They have certain programs to get a Grenadian passport. So historically, people that have been interested in an E2 visa that are either Indian or Chinese or from Brazil, for example, or from Russia, from these countries that don't qualify for an E2 visa, they would get citizenship to a country like Grenada, and then once they had their Grenadian passport, they would then apply for their E2 visa. Now, what this new law does, basically, if somebody is getting citizenship to an E2 country based on one of these sort of financial programs or investment-based programs to get citizenship to a country, then they have to be essentially domiciled in that country for a period of at least 3 years before they can use that passport to apply for an E2 visa. So essentially what this is doing is it's lengthening the time that it would take somebody to go through that whole process of getting citizenship to another country to get an E2 visa. And in some ways, it's making that process less of a viable option. Because as I mentioned, in many cases where these citizens of other countries, in many of these cases where they would apply for citizenship to a country like Grenada, I'm not sure how much these people were actually thinking about living in Grenada or residing or being domiciled in Grenada. It was more so an avenue to get an E2 visa to the United States. So with this new requirement actually requiring people to reside in the country that they're getting the passport to, I think it's going to make it much less of a viable option to eventually pursue an E2 visa. So again, those are the two updates. Update number 1, Portugal is now an E2 treaty country. That's wonderful news. And update number 2, there is now a new requirement where people that are getting citizenship to another country for purposes of getting an E2 visa to the United States, if they're getting that citizenship through one of these avenues, through an investment sort of program, they have to be domiciled in that country for at least 3 years before they can use that passport to apply for their E2 visa. I hope you found this video very informative and very helpful. If you know anybody that can benefit from this information, please make sure to share this video with them. We're all about empowering you with knowledge, so the more people that can watch this video that can benefit from this information, the better. As always, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.